Well, hey everyone, John here, and today we're going to take you to Hollywood Studios for a little research on a rope drop strategy that we are working on. We just wanted to test some of these out while we are here and kind of let you know what you can expect to do during rope drop at some of these parks. Hollywood Studios is, of course, a fairly difficult park to tour right now because all of the rides are so popular, and so we're going to help you out with that and see what we can get done here in the first couple hours of Hollywood Studios. I'm about to head out. Before we move on, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're so happy you guys are here, but subscribe and hit the notification bell. And now let's go tour Hollywood Studios. Well, so before I stepped out the door, I did want to kind of give a rundown of the day. Now, this may end up being a little bit of a strange rope drop morning because here in Florida, they do have a major storm system rolling it out of the Gulf of Mexico at some point today. It's not raining now. I don't think it's going to be raining for our first couple of hours of the park being open, but it is going to come in after that and rain the rest of the day. And so I don't know how that's going to affect traffic flow and crowds and those kind of things. So we'll just kind of see as we go. You do have to learn to adapt and those kind of things while touring the parks, and so we'll work through some of that. So let me say that as the last thing before we head out to Hollywood Studios. I'm off-site on this trip. If you're an on-site guest, I certainly recommend getting in the park, being there 30 minutes before early entry starts at a minimum. That's probably when they're going to unlock the or let people in the park, is 30 minutes before early entry starts. I would say it probably be there 45 minutes before that, so you're a little bit up on the line. And use your early entry time to do Slinky Dog. That is going to be your best bet if you've got kids that want to do Slinky Dog. Then you can you're probably going to at that point be able to proceed on the tour we're going to do. Since I'm an off-site guest, Slinky Dog's hard because it's going to be a 45 to 50 minute line before the park ever opens for me. And so if you're an on-site guest, hopefully you are, do Slinky Dog, and then you'll kind of pick up this tour, this strategy where we start it there. If you're an off-site guest, Genie Plus is really the best consideration to get Slinky Dog and be on right at 7 o'clock, and you've got to get it in a hurry, or Slinky Dog lightning lanes will be gone for the rest of the day. So that's kind of a little bit of how the plan's going to start this morning, and we'll kind of see how it goes from there. So with that, let's head off to Hollywood Studios. All right, made it here to Hollywood Studios, and the rain is just starting to sprinkle on me, so we'll let you know how this goes. But gonna find a place to get my rain jacket on, and we'll head on in. I did get a Slinky Dog lightning lane for a little later this morning, so we'll see how a rainy Hollywood Studios rope drop goes here. All right, we're in, and I will talk maybe rope drop at Hollywood Studios for off-site guests in a little bit, but we are in the park, and it's raining. Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway is down at open, so I'm going to go ahead and give Rise of the Resistance a go. The app still says 20 minutes, so we'll see how it goes. All right, I've been in line about 1 minute, and I'm already entering the building, so not too bad here so far. We will let you know how it goes after the ride.
Incoming transmission from Ray. BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Shouldn't you be in flight prep? Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has
Stand back from those doors.
Attention, resistance sympathizers. This ship is out under the command of the First Order. You will exit, head down the hall to the right, and then prepare for interrogation.
these two droids anyway? There they are! Fire! Take cover, recruits! Distant talk! I repeat, abandoned ship! This destroyer's about them! There's no escape. You will tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the resistance.
All right, out of Rise. It took 18 minutes there at rope drop. Again, I'm off-site. Again, I'm an off-site guest on this trip. And now we're headed over to Millennium Falcon. Posted as a 15-minute wait right now. Do think I'm going to try single rider. Again, I am going to try single rider. I think it's probably about the same as standby. Standby's only posted 15, which this early in the day probably means it is a walk-on. So, but I'm just going to try single rider just because it's me, and I don't do this side very often. So we'll see how it works. All right, so I can't pull off for too long. I'm trying to keep the camera from getting too awful wet, but did get off Millennium Falcon, and I took about 5 or so extra minutes just kind of looking around Galaxy's Edge just to kind of make sure I wasn't going too fast for what most people would do, just because I tried out the single rider. Single rider, you walk straight into the room where they're putting you in groups, so you skip the pre-show and everything. That's really the main time saver at this time of day. But it's about 9:15. I've done both Star Wars rides, and I'm going to head up into Toy Story Land and try to get on Toy Story Midway Mania. We'll let you know how it goes. Walking through Hollywood Studios, got done with Toy Story. It was a posted 20 minute, and it took me about 17, so pretty much right on. It's 9:50 right now, so we're at the hour and 20 minute mark. Have 3 rides in. One of them is Rise, which takes a while. Just the whole experience is so long. And now I'm going to run down and try to get on Rock and Roller Coaster as my 4th ride here in the first 4 rides in the first 2 hours at Hollywood Studios is pretty good, especially one of them's Rise.
Okay, yeah, you can get coffee down there.
So we are going to head that way. Rock and Roller Coaster, had a great ride there. About an 18-minute wait was the wait, and that will conclude our first 2 hours here at Hollywood Studios. We did 4 rides in 2 hours, which by Hollywood Studios standards is pretty good. Magic Kingdom wise, you would certainly want to get to 5.
But Hollywood Studios Wise 4 is really good, especially when one of them is Rise of the Resistance. And that's a really long attraction just when you count all the pre-shows and walk-through parts and all those kind of things. So it was really a great morning at Hollywood Studios. Have not used a lightning lane, and I'm an off-site guest. So it is a little rainy, so I'm sure that kept some of the people away. But you can have a great morning at Hollywood Studios if you're here on time and you follow some of those tips that we used today to kind of beat the crowds, to take the rides that we needed. I wasn't even planning on Rise of the Resistance today, but Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was down at Rope Drop. And so with all that said, we had a great morning. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time.
All right, well, I did close the video back in the park, but I wanted to just pop in. It was raining at the time, and so I want to make sure that I've summarized everything well about what or how you can structure your rope drop. And so like we did today, we got 4 rides in during those first 2 hours, and those first 2 hours are the critical time. After that, lines start to build. For instance, by 10:30, when the park had been open for 2 hours, it opened at 8:30 today. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, kind of a mid-tier attraction, was at 40 minutes. Of course, Rise of the Resistance, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog Dash, Tower of Terror, those are all going to be over an hour, 2 hours in. But what you do those first 2 hours is the critical time. After that, slow down, enjoy what you've been doing. If you enjoy what you want to do, take in some shows at Hollywood Studios. If you are using Lightning Lane on the day, that's when I would start using Lightning Lanes. Those first 2 hours, I try not to use Lightning Lanes unless you're just really trying to use them quickly because you're moving on to another park later in the day, which is fine as well. But that's hard at Hollywood Studios because return times get pushed out really quickly. So 4 rides at Hollywood Studios in 2 hours is pretty good. When you think we did Rise of the Resistance, well, it's a 30-minute experience, even in a short line like we had right at Rope Drop, because of all the pre-shows and all of those and all the walk-through parts and then the ride. So it's a 30-minute ride. Then you've got to walk to the next attraction. We did Millennium Falcon, then we did Toy Story, and then we did Rock and Roller Coaster all through the standby lines. I did Millennium Falcon through the single rider, if you remember. But I made it to where the time would have been right because I shopped around a little bit in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Single rider is a good option there, though. But overall, 4 rides at Hollywood Studios is really good. And if you're doing that, you can feel confident about what you got done at Rope Drop. And from that point on, again, slow down and enjoy the day at that point. Find other things that you want to do. And if you've got lightning lanes, start stacking them for later on. If you want to do re-rides there at Hollywood Studios. And remember, once you make a lightning lane, you can modify it to later in the day if you're, say, going to take an afternoon break. But always on lightning lanes, get that clock running, that 2-hour clock running if you're going to stack for later in the day. So you can come back and book the next one 2 hours later and have more lightning lanes in the queue. But that's not what this video is about. We were talking about the first 2 hours, and we had a good one. So again, make sure you're there on time. I was an off-site guest, so you could do even better than this if you're an on-site guest, and you can do Rise of the Resistance right at the start. And I don't always recommend doing Rise first as an off-site guest. I did it today because Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway was down. So if you want to purchase a lightning lane for Rise, if it's maybe a more crowded day than I had, you could do Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway first, then Smuggler's Run, then Toy Story. And even today I got Rock and Roller Coaster in 4th, which I didn't know if I could do, but it worked out. So sometimes you got to adapt and change based on what's happening. Mickey and Minnie's was down, and so I made that change. And that's the last thing I'll mention, is if you encounter a ride down at Rope Drop, that is not abnormal. It happens on Rise of the Resistance quite often. It happens on Mickey and Minnie's quite often since it's a pretty technologically advanced ride. It doesn't happen near as often on Slinky Dog or Rock and Roller. But if you encounter a ride that's down at Rope Drop, just move on. Even if you think, oh, well, this might open 5 minutes late. Well, that 5 minutes you've now waited, the lines at every other attraction are slowly building, and you're going to be behind. For every 5 minutes you get behind now, you're going to be 20 to 30 minutes behind at the end of that 2-hour period. just by being 5 minutes behind at the start. And there's no guarantee that ride will open. So if one's down at rope drop, move on to the next one on our list. Adapt and move on. And then we'll come back and try to hit that one later if it opens back up. So that will do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.